you can't hear the music, Charlie. You're going to have to turn yours on. They can't hear the music. You got to turn your camera on, Charlie. Come on, Charlie. I know this is crazy, guys, right? You can't hear the music playing at all. So I don't know we're going to have to figure out something. We're trying a little something different tonight. It's obviously not working really well. So good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Move It Monday 2023. Just right now, I want to remind everybody to be sure to let everybody know that your friends comments and all those things, like make sure that you grab them and tag them and tell them get on, because we need them to be a part of our stream, to find out what's going on, to see exciting things, and to get excited about this new year. Are you excited about 2023, a year filled with possibility? 2023 possibility. Get it, guys? All right. I want to know, are you excited? Go ahead and drop us a comment right now. Tell us that you're here. Make sure that you give StreamYard permission to be able to have your name, or Facebook give StreamYard permission for us to see your name. I always forget how to explain that to you, everybody. But it is so exciting to be back with you guys. I've missed you. It's been 2 whole weeks since we were together. So I'm super excited to have you here with us. And we are pushing to get the biggest number of the year. Okay, no matter what it is, it'll be the biggest of the year, the biggest group of people on this year, right? And we want to make this kind of like every week, we're going to keep building on that. We're up to 22. Can we make it to 25? We're at 25. Can we make it to 30? We're at 30. Can we make it to 35? Come on, guys. Let's tag your friends. Tell them to get on over here, because we've got some great stuff. And I'm feeling very generous tonight, so I just might have to give some stuff away if you participate. But I only am giving things away if you participate. All right. So good evening, everybody. I am Marcia Brown, your business leader. That's BL for short. And I don't, it's just a name that Tupper gives us as the person who wants to see you succeed more than anybody else in the world. I am your mentor. I am your coach. I am here to help you get the most out of your business in 2023. What do you want out of 2023? Maybe you want to be debt-free in 2023. Maybe you want to take time for yourself. Let this 2023 be all about me, right? Because sometimes we put ourselves at the end of the line, and it's time for you to take responsibility for yourself, to take time for yourself, to give yourself permission to be a number one in your life. But you know what? I think this year could be a year of huge possibility. A year that you achieve things you've never achieved before. To imagine, how far can you see in 2023? And with what you see, what can you be in 2023? So I am really excited that you guys are here with us. We're up to 25 already. Can we make that to 30 in the next 5 minutes? Go ahead and tag a few more friends, grab them on here with us as well. And we're going to go right on to our quote for tonight. I always like to start us with a quote. And tonight I'm starting with a quote that has to do with our word for the year. The word for a year that I have chosen for our company, for our focus as a team, as we're working together. And, this is a truly powerful tool that we have to use for us. And the word for the year is grit, which means grit is having the courage to push through no matter what the obstacles are, because it's worth it. And I want you to kind of think about that, because sometimes when things get tough, when things are a little bit difficult, we start to break down. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to think about all the reasons why we can't do something. But grit is being able to say, you know what? I'm not going to focus on what I can't do. I'm going to focus on what I can do. I'm not going to focus on what might go wrong. I'm going to focus on what could go right. And I am going to keep my focus on where I want to be in 2023, because The goal I have is worth it. I'm worth it. And what I'm doing makes a difference in the lives of myself, my family, and the people that I come in contact with. That is what it means to have grit, guys. That is what it means to get up every day with determination and perseverance and passion and purpose, and really push through towards where we want to be and what we want to do. So I want to challenge you this year to really do that and to really make that the priority for yourself as you are heading into this new year as well. So as we move on tonight, I want to talk to you about New Year's resolutions. And I thought this was really funny because I think a lot of times we feel this way, right? I don't call them New Year's resolutions. I prefer for them to be casual promises to myself that I am under no legal obligation to fulfill. Because what is it that we do? We all make these resolutions, but we don't put the effort behind it necessarily to stick with it. We allow them to kind of disappear within a very short amount of time. So, one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves is to be committed to those resolutions. To first, number one, make those resolutions. And number two, to be committed to those resolutions. And the reason I say that is we have to make them, because setting goals is really and truly what helps us live better lives. It helps gives us direction, it helps gives us focus, and it helps gives us a benchmark of the progress that we're making. You see, if we just get up every day and just go willy-nilly through life, we'll get through life, but we'll have nothing that really shows us what we accomplished, what we, where we went, what we did. And it doesn't even have to be big things. Sometimes we think a goal is, it's got to be some life-changing thing. It isn't. A goal is simply a focal point that we look at and we use to help us stay on track and to help us keep the fears away from us. It's like putting a blinder on a horse. Who knows why they put blinders on horses? If you've ever been to, seen a horse that's like driving a carriage, like at New York City, we were just there last week with our granddaughters, and we went to Central Park, and they have these carriage rides, and these horses all have these blinders on. Why do they have the blinders on? If you know, go ahead and put that in the comment there. Charlie's looking for who's participating tonight, who's commenting, who's getting involved with everything that we're doing. And so I want to encourage you to do that so they don't get sidetracked is a great reason. Yes, it helps them stay focused on what's right in front of them so that they don't get distracted by all of the noise that's out there, all of the things happening all around them. It helps them keep in a single focus. And that's really and truly what goals do for us. It's very easy as we get up and go through our day so that we don't get pulled by any little thing that happens, that, whatever seems to be noisy over here or anything that's bright and shiny over there. We find ourselves getting pulled from one direction to the other, one little task to the other. Facebook is a perfect example. If you are right here on Facebook with us right now, and you are watching this, but yet at the same time, there's a notification that just popped up that somebody made a comment on a picture that you had, or somebody made a comment in a chat, and you're feeling like, oh, I need to go look at that. That's going to pull you away from where you're at. Maybe you're sitting here watching this and the TV's going, or maybe, you're putting away the dishes or whatever. You're not focused. You're not giving your full attention to what you are doing. And that is such an important thing, to always give your full attention to the thing that is the most important to you in this moment. Okay. So if I'm watching this, I want to be 100% involved in what I'm listening to. I want to have my notebook out. I want to have paper. I want to be taking notes. I do this on all of my virtual meetings that I'm in. I do it in every meeting. If you've ever come to an in-person meeting with me, the one thing you know is I always have my notebook and I have my pen, and I'm always ready to take notes because I want to be focused on what is in front of me at this very moment. And that's the way we want to approach our lives. That's why we have our goals, so that we can stay focused on what's important for us, so we can make progress towards those things that are important. So when you set a goal, there's a couple of things that are really important. And resolutions are, like I said, really they're goals. And the things you want to think about is that at first it has to be something that is meaningful to you. It's something that you know will make a difference for you, for your family. And so there's an emotional connection to it. There is something that says this is right and good for me to do. It's something that is also achievable. It doesn't do us any good to set a goal that 3 days in we're going to say, I give up. That would be like saying, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym and get in shape. And, I want to be able to hold plank for an hour. And I go and I get into plank, and people will tell you plank is that place where you can, you almost lose it because it's so concentrated in this effort of just being here in this moment. Your arms are really shaking, and you've got to be really concentrating on being strong through your core. And you're sitting there, and about 30 seconds in, you start to jiggle a little, and your arms are starting to get tired, and you feel your stuff starting to break. And so the first day, maybe you do 30 seconds. And then the second day, you do 35 seconds. And by the third day, you're going, I'm not going to ever get to this hour. And by the end of the first week, you give up. Because to say to yourself, I'm going to be holding plank for an hour, and I want to be able to do this in the first month that I'm out here doing it, that's not even realistic. So that's another piece of it. It's got to be realistic, and it's got to be achievable. So getting to an hour in plank is achievable, but it's not realistic, not in the short term. Now, for us in our business, one of the things that we can say is, this year I want to be more profitable. Okay, so that's a goal, but it's not specific. So I want you to think about this right now as you're making these resolutions and as you're writing these things down right now, because I'm going to ask you to put your resolutions in here in just a minute. I want you to think about it from this standpoint. I want it to be specific, like my goal is to my resolution is to make more money. Specifically, I want to make $1,000 a month in my Tupperware business. I want to make $3,000 a month in my Tupperware business. You want to be specific in that way. You want it to be measurable. Like, how am I going to do that? Like, what's it going to be breaking down to? And you want it to be achievable. You want it to be realistic, and you want it to be timely. I want to do it this month. And the way I'm going to do it is to hold 4 parties every week. And the way I'm going to hold 4 parties every week is that I'm going to reach out to 5 people every day so that I can date a party every day. And if I can do that every day and add 1 new party, then it won't take me very long before I have 4 parties every single week. And with holding 4 parties every single week, I will be on the way to making $2,000, $3,000 a month from my Tupperware business. So that is one thing to look at. Another resolution that you might have is something like, I want to help 5 people get out of debt this year. That's very measurable to do, because you can say 5 people that I help get out of debt. And then how am I going to do that? I'm going to use my Tupperware business to help me do that. So what are the goals that you're setting for yourself? Your 2023 goals that you're setting for yourself. I would love to see what they are. I'd love for you to commit that, because here's the other thing. The way that we make studies show us that number one, when we make goals and we are specific about them and we write them down, we are 75% more likely to achieve them than if we just say it out loud. So we conceive of it, we say it out loud, we write it down. But here's the other one. We make ourselves accountable to other people. And then you're going to put that in writing, just like Tina just did right here, because now she has made herself accountable. She has put it out there to the universe. She has claimed it. The energy that she has put out is saying, this is what I'm seeking, and I am reaching out for it. So the reverberations will come back to her. But more importantly, you guys have just read it. You just saw what she wrote. And because you just did that, and Kim did the same thing, because you saw what they did, you're saying, wow, look at that. Kim has made a commitment to earn $1,000 a month. And guys, I want you to start saying things as if it's happening. I am earning $1,000 a month in my Tupperware business. I am making $500 a month. Don't just say I want to. That you start with I want to, but I want you to start claiming these things. Say it like it matters. Say it like it's already there. Say it with commitment and determination and power, because that is what's going to do it, because that's going to give you grit. And with grit, we're going to accomplish everything that we set our minds on to in 2023 as well. Now, one of the things, and keep doing this, keep making this, going ahead, people, and putting them in there, putting your goals in the comments that you have for this year. But I want to talk a little bit tonight about resolutions. And I just want to because I want to share with you, and I really think, and I really hope that each and every one of you has a goal for 2023 to make more money, to let Tupperware be the vehicle that you can get debt free, that you can be able to have the money you need to pay your bills, to be able to save for a trip, to be able to send your children to college. One of the goals that I had, I always have short-term goals. I have midterm goals. I have long-term goals. And one of the goals that I had when my children were little is that I wanted to be able for them to go to college and go without having to take out loans. And I also wanted to not put myself in debt. So I didn't want to put them in debt going to college, because it can be a huge thing that a lot of people graduate from college in debt. And I didn't want to put myself in debt. So I made that a goal, a long-term goal that I had. I guess it really was kind of a midterm goal, since, it was 20 years in the future or 18 years in the future for me to be looking at that. And so I set about that as something I wanted. And every year I would talk about, this is where I'm working towards, this is what I'm doing. And I would have broken it down to, this is the amount of money that I want to have saved this year. Now, sometimes I came up short, because maybe something happened, maybe something came up short term that needed the money, but it was always there. It was always there. And I wanted to be in that financial position that when it came time for my children to go to college, that the resources would be available. And so this is one of the key things of what we do. And this is why these goals are so important. Long story short, when my children went to college, they did not have to get loans. Fortunately, we also had a couple of scholarships that came in, which is part of the process too, because I always encouraged them to do the best that they could in their schoolwork. But at the same time, by using my Tupperware business as a vehicle to provide an income for my family, and having that in front of me always, and doing the things every day that needed to be done, we were financially in a position that I was able to write that check to pay for their college tuition. And I wasn't in debt, and they weren't in debt. And that is what the whole idea of it is to have those goals in writing. So this is a really important place for us to get started. Now, taking this a little, kind of backing it off, just a short-term goal would kind of be a resolution. A resolution is a promise to oneself of something that we want to do to improve. And there are many, many resolutions that are out there. In fact, some of you might have set some New Year's resolutions. Like, how many of you set a resolution that this year I'm going to read more books? See, because I've already seen some people that have done that. They've said, I want to read 12 books this year. Tell me your favorite book so I can start thinking about which books I want. Maybe that was one of your resolutions, right? Maybe you had a resolution that you were going to pay off a credit card. Maybe you have a resolution that you're going to quit smoking, or I'm going to quit eating sugar, so much sugar. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. This is the thing that, everybody does this. We have all these different goals, and there's so many different resolutions that people have. And typically we make resolutions as things that will help improve us, help us live a better life, help us do better, right? And the three that typically come up a lot, that is a great one, Kim, to remove toxic people from your life, because I call them energy vampires. There's a great book called The School Bus, um, now just like it's about the school bus. You get on the bus, and there's energy vampires on the bus, and I just like completely forgot that it's John Gordon's book. Somebody that knows me knows, and we've done a book study on it. But energy vampires will suck the life out of you, and they're toxic, and all they want to do is take you away from your happy place because they're unhappy in their space. So that's a whole nother topic. We're not going to talk about that one tonight, but what I want to come back to is the three resolutions that people often set at the beginning of the year. And one of those is to eat healthier, get fit, right? That's kind of like is some variation of that. They're going to make a lifestyle change. And it could involving quitting eating certain things or drinking certain things or working out. But it typically is eat healthier, get more healthy. One of the second ones that oftentimes people have is to get organized, right? And then the third one that you will see and get organized can be remove clutter, not waste so much, different things like that. And then the third one that we will often see is save money or make money. Okay, so I need more money in my life. That's the M&Ms, more money. And I can either make more money or I can save money. And what's ideal is if you can do both, right? So tonight, I want to share with you just some tips that you have, because you are the solution to everyone else's resolutions. You are the solution to others' resolutions. So right now, I'm going to ask you, what can you offer to people to help them eat healthier? What are some of the things that you have to offer people to help them eat healthier? Grow your food in your micropro grill. There's one of the guys that's here, that's in our company. His name's Dell, and he lost a ton of weight by using the micropro grill to cook his food because he wanted to eat healthier, and he got the micropro grill to help him do that and was able to accomplish a goal that he had of losing weight by using that. So yes, using your micropro grill is a great way to do that. What are some other ways that you can help people eat healthier? Products that make your cooking easier and healthy. Exactly. So in the comments, guys, let's make a list. Go ahead, because this is going to be a resource that you're going to get to come back to anyway. Hopefully you're writing some of these down. Freezer mates to portion, freeze for later. Yeah, why waste food? Cooking at home. And it's so easy to cook at home with Tupperware, right? And of course, one of my favorites is always Fridge Mart. We want to talk about Fridge Smart all the time. We know it's great in the summertime when there's plenty of produce coming in, but do you realize that it's even better this time of the year because produce is so expensive, and that this way they have less waste and they're going to save money and they're going to eat better because they're going to have everything that they need, a fully stocked kitchen. And this is like one of those things. You go to the grocery store, you buy all your produce, you come back home, you put it into the things, you set aside some that maybe you're going to go ahead and meal prep and have it ready so that you can make it easy for you to cook. You're going to go ahead and portion out what you need for your snacks so that you don't have to think about what you're going to eat, because that's one of the reasons that we tend to grab unhealthy snacks, is because we don't have healthy snacks handy and we don't have them prepped. It's too hard for us. So this is another thing we can do. And guys, all of these ideas are things that you can be sharing with your customers and showing them how Tupperware is going to help them accomplish their resolutions. You are the solution to their resolution. So make a list of all of these. I left my water bottle. That's another one. People, if they want to be healthier, they should drink more water. We should be drinking in ounces half our body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water a day. If you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water a day. If you weigh 200 pounds, you need to drink 100 ounces of water a day. So this is important, why our water bottles are so important. So we need every household, every person in every household to have a Tupperware water bottle. Have you made sure that everyone you know has a Tupperware water bottle? It's sustainable, it's reusable, and it's going to help them be healthier. So that's a goal you could have right now. How many water bottles can I get into people's hands this week? How many kitchens can I get a set of Fridge Smart in? You want to hear a sad fact? That we only have in the United States have sold enough Fridge Smarts so that 1 in 10,000 households has a set of Fridge Smart. That's pretty sad, isn't it? So I want you to think about how you're going to reach more houses and share with them Fridge Smart. And how are you going to help them to get this fridge, how are you going to show them how Fridge Smart is so good, and how are you going to get more of them into people's houses? Now, I'm going to tell you a little fun thing that you could do if you're trying to reach maybe some different customers, maybe get into some people. You want to pick and ask. You want to ask for like some volunteers to help you test a product and do some market research. And so what you could do is you take one of your one of your Fridge Smarts, like your Fridge Smart Small Shallow, and you're going to give it to somebody to use in their kitchen. Now they have to, take this Fridge Smart, and you give, they can either do broccoli or they could do blueberries. You get them to pick. I usually like blueberries or broccoli or lettuce, like a bag lettuce, kind of thing. And so you ask them to put some of the broccoli in the Fridge Smart and put the other in the bag that they bring it home in the grocery store, and stick them both in the fridge. Take a picture of it, put it in the fridge. 3 days later, take it out, take a picture, put it back. 6 days later, take it out, take a picture, put it back. 10 days later, take it out, take a picture, and send that to you. Send those pictures to you, because what they're going to see is that broccoli that was in that bag has gotten all wet and mushy and yellow, and the one that's in that Fridge Smart is nice and fresh and beautiful. And this is a great thing you can do with somebody maybe in your neighborhood that you've never done a party with, someone that you know from school, maybe a parent, and just say, would you help me with some research that I'm doing? And so then what you can do is use this as an in to get them to have a small get together so that they can share with their friends what they discovered about Fridge Smart. It's just another way to get a party without it being called a party, right? But the more people we can get in front of and show these things to, the better we're going to be as well. Now, we know that one of the best times of the year for people to have a party is January, because we're giving them all the best. And they have the opportunity to earn double host credits. We have these bonuses so they can get cookware. They can earn the Modular Mate 11-piece set or 12-piece set as their host gift special. And it's 11 or 11-piece set. I can't remember, whatever it is. And then we have the Ultra Pro bonus. And of course, I think it was Donna Joe was talking about teaching people how to cook at home. I mean, this is the bomb.com for cooking at home. Everybody needs Ultra Pro in their kitchen. So what a great way for them to get it is by hosting a party and getting it as well. So January is the best time to host. And especially because we have this amazing host gift special, right? So this is going to be a really key one that you're going to want to push with everybody as well as we are out there talking to them. Now, one of the things about modular mates is that we need to educate people on why modular mates are so amazing. And so right now I thought we'd take a little bit of time and go back to some modular mates and learn a little bit about modular mates and what they have, what we have to learn from them. So I am going to make a quick move over to Studio B, and we're going to talk a little bit about mastering modular mates. Music. Bum, bum, bum. No music. All right. And I am back. Oh, I need to take that off. Okay. Take the PowerPoint off, honey, not me. There we go. All right. Yay. So everybody can see me okay? Yes. I got a little mess up on my thing there. All right. So I am in my kitchen and I want to talk to you a little bit about modular mates. Now, 2 weeks ago, Michelle shared some amazing tips with you on modular mates, that they are like Legos for ladies. She talked to you about the different shapes, the different sizes, how they work together, how they stack together, all of those cool things. I want to show you a little bit about how they work in your kitchen and some tips and ideas that you can share with people. And then I'm going to ask you to share with me some of your favorite tips when you're demonstrating modular mates as well. Now, I always like the unveiling of modular mates and whether you're doing this in a person's home and you're showing them from your display, whether you're doing something live, and I'm going to encourage you once again, this is where you're going to show some grit in 2023 and you're going to step outside your comfort zone. And if you've never really gone live on your parties or on your pages, I'm going to encourage you to start doing it. And I want you to do something for me. I want you to get your modular mate cabinet done. So if you have not yet modularized your cabinets, I want you to do yours because that's going to make a huge difference for you. Now I'm going to share with you some tools that you have available that are going to help you get yours done as well. So the first thing you want to do, and this is also where this time of year we can offer a service called Custom Kitchen Planning, CKP. Custom kitchen planning. And in CKPs or custom kitchen planning, what we do is we help people take everything in their kitchen that's in a box or a bag and find a home. And it's a home that'll be with them forever because I'm going to show you my cabinets and you're going to see that there's some odd colors and things because I have modular mates still in my cabinet that I've had since they were introduced in 1983. And I still use those same modular mates. I just, I've replaced some seals with new colors because I got tired of the old colors. My original ones, get this, were paprika, butterscotch, maize, and there was one other color. But paprika, butterscotch, and maize were the three big ones. Really weird colors. That was the new color that was introduced that year. And so all of my modular mates were different colored seals. So over the years, I replaced them with red and blue. And of course, so here we go. So if you're doing this in your home and you've got yours done, maybe you have half of yours done. So you're going to open up the side that's not been done. And then you're going to open the side that has been done. And so we're going to open it up. Bum, 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 bum. Isn't that exciting? And I always like to tell people at a party, I say, okay, I want you to close your eyes and just imagine. Okay, guys, close your eyes. No, don't fall asleep on me, but close your eyes and imagine you are standing in your kitchen. Charlie, can you hand me that water bottle? Water bottle. Excuse me, guys. This is what happens when I talk too fast. I'm working on mine for the day. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes and just imagine you are standing in your kitchen and you're going over to the cabinet and you're going to open the cabinet, the cabinet where you store all the things that come in boxes and bags. And you cover your face and hold your hand up because you're not sure what's going to fall out on your head. And maybe there's some boxes that have the ends punched in on one corner. There's some bags that have twist ties. There's some macaroni spilled all over the inside
your cabinet. And oh my gosh, here comes that spaghetti's going to impale you in the head because, you know, it's just got that little rubber band on the end to keep the box from popping open on your head. And what is that in the back corner? That thing that looks like a brown brick? Oh, that's the brown sugar. Okay, now I want you to close your eye, and I want you to close that cabinet, and I want you to look up here. Now when you open, I want you to see this is what your cabinets could look like. And they're going to open their eyes, and you're going to have this table with your modular mates that you have covered with a tablecloth. And you're going to lift the tablecloth off, and they're going to see this gorgeous cabinet. They're going to see all of these modular mates nice and organized, and it's going to be so exciting. See, this is the same thing you can do. If you do this virtually like this, you can have your cabinet closed. You ask them to do that, and then you ask them to open their eyes and imagine their cabinet looking like this. And seeing is believing, because they will get so excited. But you also have to translate it into what they use, okay? So here's another thing that you can do. And you can also do this at your in-home parties or virtual parties. So one of the things that you're going to ask them to do is you're going to give them a storage chart. Now I'm going to show you a picture of the storage chart. In fact, Charlie, if you could go to the next slide in the slides and then pop that back up there for just a second. This is okay. There you go. See, so that's a storage chart, and there are like different centers. One of the concepts that we like to help with people when we're organizing, okay, you can take that off now, is that we use centers, like where you cook certain things. Can you take that off? So if you take you organize things based on centers. So what you see right here, this is my baking center. This is everything that I use for baking purposes. It's got my flour, it's got my sugar. So I've got sugar here, I've got baking chocolates, I've got all-purpose flour, bread flour, self-rising flour, whole wheat flour. Then I've got my brown sugar, I've got my regular sugar, I've got my cake flour, my powdered sugar, my pecans, my walnuts, my chocolate chips, my cornmeal, my cornstarch, my baking powder, baking soda, raisins, all of the things. Everything that I use for baking is right here. So that when I get ready to bake, I just open this cabinet and everything's right here and I can use it. Now, not everybody has the luxury of a kitchen that's laid out that they have that extra space, but you can still do everything by centers because that helps people feel more organized at one time. Because if you have, well, this little container over here for this and this little container over there for that, they don't really see how beautiful it is. And so by helping them get started with a center, then they're going to be more committed. Plus, right now we have 4 sets that Tupperware's kind of organized for us already that will give them a start with that. So what I do is I give them a storage chart, and I will actually tag the one that I like to use at my parties. You could do this virtually as well. And I asked them, okay, go through here and check off every food you have purchased in the last year. Every food that you've purchased at the grocery store in a box or a bag that you brought home to put in your cabinets, that's on this list. Just check them all off. Okay, I give them a few seconds, a few minutes. I usually give them about 30 seconds, 45 seconds to do it. And they say, okay, now I want you to go back at that list. And I want you to check everything that you've had to throw away. Okay? Everything you threw away in the last year. See, because there's kind of like the thing is a contest to see who has the most foods, right? But it also comes down to who has thrown away the most food. And this is what, once again, it's the same thing we do with our Fridge Smart, right? We get them to say, what foods did you throw away? And, and they typically, produce is one of their bigger they throw away. So we can introduce them to Fridge Smart. We do the same thing with the modular mates. Which of these foods have you purchased and which of these had you had to throw away? Because now they can see this is a place I need to get started in getting organized. And this is going to save me money because every time you throw away food, you're throwing away money, right? So we work them through this and help them to do this. What's great about these, and once again, this is our I have in here the super oval and the rectangles. These are the ones, as Michelle shared with you 2 weeks ago, that go from the front of the shelf to the back of the shelf. So it doesn't have anything in front of the other. It makes it so easy. All right. And so you want to use that as a thing. Sometimes we will have these special round ones. We don't have any of these right now, except there are some in that host gift special. And you'll see that I have some of those up here on the top with some of my seasoning blends and things like that that I like to use. But these are great little sizes too. I like this for my baking powder, baking soda, because they're usually in smaller quantities as things. But all of my larger things I have in here. What's great is with the storage chart, you can know what sizes someone needs as well. So if somebody's saying, okay, I'm gonna do my baking center, then you go, okay, so what are the foods that you want to get put in there first? So I've got my flour, I've got my sugar, I've got my brown sugar, I've got my chocolate chips, I've got oatmeal. They give you the list. You say, now tell me the sizes that you normally purchase. I usually buy 5 pounds of flour. Okay. Do you usually do you go buy flour when you're completely out, or do you like to have extra on hand? These are questions that you ask so you can give them guidance, because you want to be their personal consultant. You want to be their kitchen consultant. You want to be their organizer. People pay tons of money for someone to come organize them. Utilize what you can do for people and be of service to them. You can offer your kitchen planning service free with the purchase of, and so then when you offer them which modular mates they need, they're going to have to buy the modular mates to be able to do that. I was able to I had one, and Mary Nimenich, bless her heart, I love her. I still get Christmas cards from her. She was one of my hostesses back in 1986. And in 1986, she needed some modular mates. She wanted to get a few modular mates to get some stuff done. So I went to her kitchen. She had a beautiful pantry, one of those great big ones. And we started picking out the things that she would need. And she says, well, if I buy some and then have a party, can I get more free? And I said, that is the smartest way to get your modular mates. So we ended up, this was in January, because it was like get organized, 1st of January, we had her party. She was the #1 host in our company that month. And she had like a $1,500 party, which back in 1986 was a big party. And from her party, we had gotten the first set in. I went over, helped her put those in. We were able to show it off to her friends so that they could see her first set that she had in there. And then they all got excited. They bought modular mates. She ended up getting a whole nother segment of hers done. And she went on to have a party for me 3 times a year for the next 4 years until Charlie and I got promoted to business leaders and we moved away. But she would do every January, she would do one every May, she would do one every October, because it was her way of, we'd show off her cabinets, she would get more products to put in her kitchen, and she was able to really make a difference for herself and for her friends, because her friends all got organized too. So it's a wonderful tool to use as well. So we've got, so you say, if they like to use all of their flour up, then you're going to give them the size that will hold the 5 pounds. But if they like to have a little extra before they, when they go to the store, then you're going to give them the recommendation. So here's my personal recommendation. 5 pounds of flour is about 15 to 16 cups. And so it will fit exactly perfectly into a modular mate rectangle too. You'll see I have bread flour. I don't use a lot of bread flour, so I don't need to keep a lot extra on hand. I need it when I'm baking my bread, and so I have it there as well. But I might need more flour. So this will hold, actually this holds about 6 pounds of flour. But if I'm going to be doing a lot of cakes and things like that, I need a little bit bigger size. So then I would go with the rectangle 3, because it'll hold a bag and a half. And that way I don't have to worry about, I'm going to run out in the middle of a recipe. I've always got extra there as well. And so you use that as a way to do it. I also always ask people, are you a scooper or a pourer? Now, what does that mean? Well, when you get ready to get your flour, do you like to pour it into your cup, or do you like to scoop it out? I'm a scooper. So you'll see that I have a lot of rectangles for those things like that. And for things that I would normally pour, like my pastas and my rice and all those, they're in the other cabinet over there in the pasta and beans section of my kitchen. And so they're over there and that one. And I can pour out of those. So are you a scooper or are you a pourer? Which are you? Scoopers or pourers? Go ahead and put it in the comment. Let's find out. Let's do a survey. How many people? So I see some scoopers out there. How many of you are pourers? You like to pour everything out and measure it out that way. Lots of scoopers. I think scoopers are on the #1 list tonight. I might have to find a set of scoops to give away tonight. Oh, I see a pourer in there too. All right. Super. But this is, think about this. You know, how great would that be when you ask your customers? You're showing you want to make sure that they're happy with the products that they have. And so that's a really important one. Now, the other thing that's going to be important with it as you're helping them set up is to also talk to them about different ways that they keep things. So one of the things that sometimes people like, I pulled a couple things out of my snack center as well. I have a breakfast center and a snack center. And they're actually in the same cabinet because I don't have a lot of snacks. I have one shelf for snacks and one shelf for breakfast foods. So I just kind of pulled these out of there as well. So you'll see I have, I don't use the cereal stores for my cereal. I use the Super Ovals. And we love Puffins. It's like a, you know, like a corn crunchy cereal. And so they sell it in the double bags at Costco. So on a double bag, the double bags will actually fit into the Super Oval 5. Now you can get it with the pour seal or flat. I like the flat seal better because I know it stays on nice and tight, but it sits there real easily and it makes it easy for you to pour out of it. Now, Charlie loves saltine crackers. And I like saltines, but Charlie loves saltines. So we have to have a lot of saltines at our house. And recently we had to start carrying 2 kinds of saltines because we're trying to cut down on salt. Charlie's trying to cut down on salt. And so we had to go to unsalted saltines. That's almost like an oxymoron, isn't it? Unsalted saltines. So we have unsalted saltines and we have salted saltines. So I actually have 2 different containers that work for that. So this is, once again, that same Super Oval 5, which actually a Super Oval 4 will hold 4 sleeves. So this will hold 5 sleeves. So you can see they lay down. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 of them will fit right here just like that. This one I have 4 here. We're down to 1. I'm gonna have to go get Charlie some more. And once again, I always, for things that we use a lot of, I always like the container that's a little bit bigger so that I don't run completely out before I go to the grocery store, because I can look and see, oh my gosh, we're almost out of saltines. Now these are actually the salted saltines. I'm the one that eats those, so we don't have to worry so fast. But Charlie needs the unsalted. And so this will hold 6. So I've got crackers, my label on there, crackers, and it'll hold 6 sleeves. So that's a box and a half. So once again, when I start to know we're getting low, I know to go to the store and they'll fit in there. So people oftentimes will ask me, do you have the cracker keeper? Because it was an old cracker keeper that would hold 4 sleeves in a container sort of shaped like this. Okay, but it would hold 4. This way I can do 6 in one container. And I can do 5 in one container, or I can go with the Super Oval 4 and do 4. So when people want something to keep their saltines in, that's what you're going to offer them. The other one that I want to share with you that I think is a really important one to know is when you're talking to people, there are some people who are what we call global organizers. They like everything kind of in one general area. They don't need specifics. Some people are very, they need everything very separated. Others need more global. This is the best container for people who have several people in their household who like several different kinds of chips or crackers, things like that. This is the way you're going to store them. So if you like Triscuits, Wheat Thins, Better Cheddars, and different kinds of crackers, you have 3 or 4 different ones of those. You don't Yay! Internet went out. Okay, so here's what you will do. You will take all of those boxes of crackers. You will take the packages out of the box. They're in those little wax paper sleeves. You're going to slit the top, squeeze the air out, roll them over, and you're going to stick them in here. And you could put 4 or 5 different types of crackers in here. You can do the same thing when they have the BOGO chips. You've got somebody who wants the barbecue mesquite kind of potato chips. You've got somebody that wants the dill pickle chip ones, and you've got somebody that wants the hot and fiery ones, and someone who wants the salt and vinegar ones. Doesn't matter. You get them, slit them, squeeze the air, because you know that the bag is mostly air. Squeeze it, roll it down, stick them in here. 5 bags of chips will fit in here together. And of course, once again, if you go to Costco and you get those giant bags of your potato chips or your corn chips, this is going to be a great home for those as well. And you're not going to have stale chips, because what's the point of buying things in large quantities when they go stale and you don't use them all? So this is going to be the way to go. Everybody needs at least 2 Rec 4s in their kitchen. Okay, so the number one rectangle size we're going to need is Rec 2. Most people are going to need at least 4 to 6 for most of their everyday things that they're going to keep in their kitchen. I mean, 1 to 2 of the rectangle 4s. You're going to need a couple of Rec 3s and a couple of Rec 1s. Rec 1s are great for things like your baking chocolate. They're great for your Oreo cookies. They're great for your different kinds of crackers, like packaged crackers or Nutri-Grain bars and things like that. It'll hold 3 boxes of those in there as well. So it's really perfect for all of those things also. And then the last thing that I just want to share with you about Modulates, once again, this is just kind of like a little bit more information because we're trying to get you up to speed on what you want to know to share with your customers, is that as we said, we do have another shape and size, the ovals and the squares. So my personal favorites, super ovals and rectangles, but there are things that I have with my squares and my ovals because number one, that was the first size we came out with, and I'm still using the ones that I got in 1983 right here. This is the same containers that I got in 1983. But I also use these a lot for the things that I have, like some of my dried beans and dried grains and things that I use as well. So it's perfect for those. When I buy certain things in bulk, like I buy chia seeds in bulk. So I have a big thing of chia seeds here as well. So they're perfect for that. But what's really cool is that like some people's pantries, they have a nice pantry. Some of the shelves are regular cabinet depth and some are not. Some are like shorter. So then the rectangles are too long to go this way. But you can take a rectangle and you can turn it this way. And then you can take a square and you can take an oval and put it on top of it. And so on someone who has a narrow shelf, this is the way you could stack it. So they could still get the benefit of having some of your rectangles along with the squares and the ovals in there as well. This is also a great way for people who have RVs and campers that they're going to need to put their stuff in there as well. And this is an ideal grouping of things to use for kids going off to college because they're the perfect sizes for them to keep snacks in their room, and they stack up really nicely as well. Here's another little quick tip. In fact, I want to know some of your favorite tips, that you share at your parties with your customers, like things like how long can a cockroach live in your pantry? Because we know when the world ends, cockroaches are still going to be here, right? Well, cockroaches actually don't even eat the food necessarily. They look for things that are moist and in your kitchen, like things that, in fact, they love glue. They love the glue that's on the boxes that you bring home from the store. So this is a little fact that will make you kind of cringe a little bit, but they do live forever, Doreen. A cockroach can live off of the glue on the back of a stamp for a month. So just think about it. If the glue on the back of a stamp, as little as that is, will feed a cockroach for a month, all those boxes that are glued at the top that people bring home, how much food is that for the cockroach, right? So let's get rid of cockroaches by getting rid of the boxes that are in your kitchen. Great tip, Tina. Yes, In fact, modular mates and Tupperware containers are the only containers that the U.S. military will move food from one base to another. Because oftentimes when they're moving people from base to base, they come in, pack up their whole kitchen, take it, and sometimes it sits in storage for months before it gets unpacked. And that is, they actually have given Tupperware the approval, like a letter of approval that food can be packaged in Tupperware and move from base to base. So that's another great reason for doing it. It's also going to be great for people who are moving anytime, because most movers don't want to move the food that's in there either, because it attracts animals and we don't want those animals in there as well. So, that's another fun tip to share with people. Sharing with people about like I said, the ways that they can save money, by keeping several things at one time, showing them how to make their own mixes and be able to do that. Here's another little tip that you want to be sure to share with your friends. I don't know if anybody said this one yet, Charlie, but a lot of times the boxes and the bags have instructions on how to cook things, right? And we have a tendency to want to just like, okay, well, let me just cut that off the box and stick it inside the package and stick it in the modular mix. Then it'll be there, right? Okay, nope, don't do that, because one of the things you may not know, and I learned this because my cousin was a food inspector, is that in stores, when the food, like they have warehouses where the food is stashed before they bring it, they bring it out, and they will periodically go through and spray these insecticides and pesticides underneath it to keep the mice and the bugs away from getting onto the boxes and, the packagings, the food that's packaged before it goes to the shelf. The same thing, sometimes in the stores, they have coated the counters, the cabinets, the shelving with different kinds of insecticides and things to keep bugs from getting into the food. And so your boxes and things are sitting on that. So if you cut that off your box and you put it in your Tupperware container, you just opened yourself up for a lot of awfulness, right? So you don't want to do that. So what you're going to do is take it, cut it off, and you're just going to tape it to the back. I don't think I have one that I have it out. I didn't bring one out that I have it. I have a couple of them that I have. The instructions are I just tape it onto the back. So I cut it out, tape it onto the back. And so it's right there. So then when I take it out, and I've got my rice, then I look on the back and it tells me the quantity that I need to cook with it as well. So that's another way, another tip that you're going to share with people. You can also just have them take them and laminate them. And then they have a permanent little instructions that they can do. You can also tape it onto the top as well. So those are just a few. A sticky note, yep, but sticky notes are great too, especially if it's something that you're going to be keeping as well. I like things that I can keep for a long time, so I like to just have it right there, taped on, so it doesn't get messed up and it doesn't go away as well. And those are just a few of the mini tips that we have for you here tonight. Charlie, if you'll go on to that next slide for me, and bring the slides back on up, because I want to know some of the tips that you guys have come up with. All right, so I want to go to the last thing, and I apologize for us running over, so I'm going to make Charlie give another prize away before we finish tonight. But the third, so we've covered eating healthier, right? We're going to get everybody drinking water. We're going to get everybody having Fridge Smart. We're going to get people stocking their cabinets with whole grains and beans and things so they can eat healthier. We're helping them get organized, both in the freezer, in the fridge, and in the cabinets. And we want to, and that's going to help them save money, but we're going to also help them make money, because we are the solution to people's financial needs. And so right now we have an amazing offer for our brand new recruits. We have 3 options. They can start with our deluxe kit for $139. They can start with the starter kit for $99. And we still have that virtual $15 opportunity this month. Now, it is very likely that will be going away. We actually thought it was going to end at the end of the year, and they did extend it through January. So don't miss out on that if you're offering, when you're talking to people about coming in and joining. But we have another solution. When they start their Tupperware business, more money is in it for them, because for every 100 they sell, they're going to make, $25. Every party of $400 is going to put $100 in their pocket. With their first $100 order, they are going to have made $25 and qualified to get the amazing stack cooker, which is, once again, goes back to that starting cooking meals with, at home and saving money for just $30. And that is a game changer. We talked about that a few months ago. If you want to see some more videos on how you use it, what you can use it for, that's going to be thebomb.com. In fact, I would encourage you to be cooking in yours right now, going live, talking about it so people ask you about it. And then you can say, who wants to get one for $30? And actually, guys, if they sold $100, they made 25, and then they got this paid, got this for 30. So really only cost them $5, right? Yeah, right. So you want to be out there talking to people about the money that they can make in Tupperware, because that money talks. And we all need another stream of income, except Dave Ramsey says you don't need a second job, but you need a business. That's how you're going to be able to make more money, is by having your own side business. That is the number one inflation fighter that there's out there. So let's go help people save money, make money, fight inflation by offering the opportunity. Next slide. And so what's in it for you when you do that? Well, of course, you get rewarded as well. And talking about meal prepping, for first three, for your first recruit this month, when they come in and they sell their $100, you're going to be able to get 2 sets of the Premia glass for just $20. That's going to help you with making your meals ahead of time, having them in the fridge or freezer. And then when that new recruit of yours also does their first $500, you are going to qualify for the ultimate roaster in our Ultra Pro series for just $30, and you can qualify for up to 3 of those as well. And while we're out there talking about Tupperware and the opportunity this week, don't forget that you have the ability to change your life while you're changing other people's lives as well. Now, one of the things that I'd ask you guys to do is 2 weeks ago, we talked about the one word that'll change your life. And one word is it's basically a way of giving a focus to an energy that you want to bring into your life. Like I said, our word for the company is grit, because it's about perseverance. It's about sticking with it. It's about holding on when things look tough. It's about being invincible is really what it's all about. But you have to find the word that works for you. And there's a process, and I put that earlier today. And I've asked you to share that. Would you please put the thing about minty? I don't have my other camera. It's in the comments, in the banners.
Okay. What?
Yes, it's the one that says Mentimeter. So I'm going to ask you to go to menti.com, www.menti.com, and enter this code 31718952. If you have not done added your word, I'm going to ask you to do that. Write this down, www.menti.com, MENTI.com, enter 31718952, and add your word. Because I see some of you put it in here. Kim, renew. I love that. Deborah, constant. Facebook user focus. Okay. And because some of you've already done it, and this is why I want all of you to share your words. Number 1, we got to ink it to think it, right? Number 2, you've claimed it. You've put it into the universe. The universe is going to bring you the energy that you're looking for, and you've made yourself accountable. But by doing this, we're going to create something fun. Next slide, please. It makes this really cool image. And so you can see it's started to add some of the words. And this was just before Riley. Some of you had given me your words. So a lot of your words are not on there yet. But if you go and do that, it's going to create that. And I will, once we get all of them in there, we're going to make this our cover for our Hooray group, because that way we all are there together. We're all working together. And this is going to be our guide to what we are looking for. There as well. 31718952. That's the code. All right. So there's also a link in the group earlier where you could just click the link. It automatically takes you to it. But right now we want to go ahead and finish that off so we can make that big and bold and make big things happen this year. I am going to be posting a survey tomorrow. I'm going to be asking you a couple of things because I want to know what products you want to know more about. So I'm going to do a survey and I'm going to ask you to fill it in. Tell me what you want to know. What types of training do you want to have? Where do you are you interested in advanced training about like how you make money in this business, where you're going with in your business, things like that. If you want to know tips on how you can have more successful parties, if you want to know how you can build a team as big as your dream, these are all things I want to know from you so that we can provide you exactly what you want in 2023, because I want you to be all that you can be in 2023. All right, so we're going to close tonight with one final quote. And of course, Charlie, you need to make that bigger because I can't see that. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. I love this, guys, and I want you to take this to heart. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. We want to get every bit of life out of every moment that we have. And we want to get to that, keep going, keep going. We don't want to wear ourselves out on the short term. We want to keep going as long as we can, as hard as we can. And when we get there to the very end, we go, I did not waste a moment. I did not miss an opportunity. I was able to make a difference to every single person that I came in contact with. And that is what we do. We are the solution to people's resolutions. We are the answer for people's needs. We can provide them the vehicle to live life on their terms. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. Looking forward to a fabulous 2023. Be sure to be working your business every day, and together we're going places. Good night, everybody.